In a League of Their Own podcast is brought to you by Smooth My Balls. Are you sick of snagging your nuts or cutting yourself with a generic Bic razor or generic clipper? Well, now you don't have to worry. Smooth My Balls offers a 5-star below-the-belt care for men, starting with the Turf Chopper 3.0, the next level razor that provides a very smooth and clean finish with no cuts on your sack. And coming in for the closer, you got the Pube Muncher 1.0, a compact mini vac that cleans up the job with no hair left behind. Head over to smoothmyballs.com today and use code LEAGUE at checkout for 15% off your top of the line men's grooming kit. Again, that's LEAGUE, LEAGUE, for 15% off. Smooth My Balls, shave like a pro.
Rep Sports. Rep Sports is a leading supplements and nutrition company that provides everything from pre-workout and protein to recovery supplements. If you're looking for a healthy pick-me-up, Rep also offers Raise Energy, a zero sugar drink that helps with workout and recovery, mental focus as well. Head over to repsports.com today and use code LEAGUE for 15% off your order. That's LEAGUE for 15% off.
Golf kicks. Tired of wearing the same old boring golf shoes? Not the most comfortable? Now you don't have to worry. Customize all types of shoes, from Crocs to flip-flops, sneakers to boat shoes, and wear them in style while you rip it up on the course. Head over to golfkicks.com and use code OWN20 at checkout to get a 20% discount on your order. That's OWN20. Screw your shoes.
Streamer Loot. Want to rep the best up-and-coming sports podcast? Of course you do. Head over to streamerloot.co today and check out our first line of merch. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, and stickers. Again, that is streamerloot.co to check out our merch. Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. Will Aaron Rodgers show for mandatory camp next week? And 76ers are in jeopardy after Embid tears his meniscus.
There goes that man's jockstrap. Oh my God, did you see that?
America's team? Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, it's a big day in sports. There's nothing like battling it out with your teammates all season long to go win a championship.
Green Bay's got it this year. Huge move for him. I think it's going to be a game changer.
We have a lot to talk about this busy week in the sports world. Welcome to the In a League of Their Own podcast.
All right, again, everybody, welcome to the show. Again, kicking things off here, Aaron Rodgers talk again just about every other day. He's kind of the main focal point of the NFL this offseason. Matt LaFleur came out today. Rodgers did not show for camp or for OTAs again today. Still unsure if Rodgers will attempt the mandatory minicamp starting next week. Rodgers waived his $500,000 workout bonus for not showing up to OTAs. And then if he does not show up next Tuesday, he will have to pay the Packers like $96,000, which for him is just pocket change. So right now they have Jordan Love getting the QB1 reps, and he'll get the QB1 reps if Rodgers doesn't show up next week as well. So again, kind of the drama continues with that, but we'll see, I guess, next week if he shows up.
Yeah, it looks like he went 11 for 17, threw 2 picks, had a fumble, and Blake Bortles, I was reading, completed the longest pass of the day today. It was like a 64-yard bomb, and guess which corner of ours got burned?
Okay, Mr. King.
It was by a guy that we just signed not too long ago, so...
Oh, was it the
some guy I haven't heard of?
DeAndre Tompkins?
No, it was a different guy. But it said Kevin King gets burned by blah 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 and outstretched for a catch. And it's just like, way to go, King.
Yeah.
Starting off the year strong.
I still don't know why they re-signed him, to be honest. Like,
maybe just to cut him.
Yeah, I mean,
the Broncos.
Yeah, if Stokes has a good training camp, I could see.
And we just signed him too.
Yeah, I could see him taking over King's spot.
Trade him. for a draft pick.
Yeah, like
Or
a fourth,
even-
like
yeah.
a fourth or fifth rounder for him or something.
I don't know if in the NFL if they do trades like that, but back in like the junior hockey days, I remember one time we traded 2 kids for a brand new skate sharpening machine, $500 and $1,000 in cash. So I don't legit like 2 kids basically were worth a brand new skate sharpening machine, $500 and $1,000 in cash.
Like, we'll give you this guy, and
It was 2 kids. We sent 2 kids for that stuff.
that's funny.
We drove home with it from the rink. Like, we put the brand new shit on the bus. It's like, I wonder if that happens in the NFL. If it's like,
we'll give you this guy if you pay for a new jumbotron for the stadium.
we like your film guy. He's working for us now. Or something like that. Like, I wonder if stuff like that happens behind the scenes.
In the fine print of the contract, they're like, "Oh shit, all right."
And a pack of blue Skittles before every single home game.
They're throwing a pack of Marlboro Reds.
Reds at halftime.
But yeah, and then the other NFL point I had for today, Dan Marino was speaking about Bill Belichick as he is approaching Don Shula's most winningest head coach record. He currently sits 48 shy of that right now. So now with 17 games, that's about 5 winning seasons, and he'd surpass that mark, not including playoffs. So obviously, if the Pats go on deep playoff runs, it could be 3-4 years to hit that mark.
Otherwise, I think he'd already passed him with playoff wins.
Well, no, that's including playoff wins, I think.
Oh, it is? I thought it was just regular season.
No, I think it's includes all wins for all time, if I remember correctly. But
yeah, that's so weird how some sports carry that over. And yet again, like hockey, all the regular season records stop, like, and then the postseason happens, and then it's like postseason never happened, back to the regular season where the records continued, like the Iron Man streak. Keith Yandel for the Florida Panthers, he had it going and he was going, and then he ended up getting scratched. I think it was game 5. And I know that's like a tough move to scratch a guy who's got the longest streak going, but it is the playoffs, so it doesn't count. So next season, if he's still on the roster, starts, boom, streak continues. I don't know if it's the same way in the NFL, if it's postseason stops and then he continues over.
I'm trying to, because I'm thinking of like Brett Favre, like his consecutive starts. Because I don't think he ever went out
90 something.
Yeah, I don't think he ever went out in the playoffs. So in that case, maybe that did carry through the playoffs for him.
Yeah, I don't know how the NFL works like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like I said, every sport is different, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you have any NFL points to throw out there?
Only thing I have on the NFL is shout out to Chris Hogan, ex-NFL wide receiver, played for the Patriots. He made the 25-man roster of the Boston Cannons of the Premier Lacrosse League. Shout out to him. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Playing one professional sport, moving to the other, cracking the main roster, and let's see how he does this season. Lacrosse is kind of under the radar. I know, like, even in Wisconsin, us as a whole, there's not too many high school teams, I think, that have high schools that have lacrosse teams. I know my junior year of high school, there was like a petition to start a lacrosse team. And then I think they had one like 3 years after I was done. But like I said, there's only like 2 or 3 teams. I feel like lacrosse, it's like soccer. All you need is a field, a couple sticks, a ball, and somebody tough enough to throw on a helmet and stand in the net and get beamed with that fucking ball. But I feel like lacrosse is one of those sports, just like golf has seen an uptick. I feel like lacrosse is one of those sports, especially with the whole brain trauma part. Like, yeah, there is checking and stuff in lacrosse, but it's not like you're not headbutting guys and stuff like other sports. So shout out to the professional lacrosse, making a headline. You don't really hear lacrosse ever making a headline for anything.
Yeah. And obviously it helps having an ex-NFL player go into a league like that, or even just like any retired professional athletes, like becoming an owner of a semi-pro team or just like being affiliated with the team whatsoever. It puts their name up there on ESPN, down on the ticker, or just becomes a headline, and boom, that school, that organization, that specific sport gets some attention for a couple days, just by coming across the screen. So it's cool to see the, like, again, ex-professional athletes kind of taking their talents, or at least their knowledge of whatever sport they did, to these lower teams to kind of give them recognition and obviously carry on their love for the game.
Yeah. I don't know why, but this is kind of a little off topic. Do you remember the show Pros versus Joes?
Yes. Briefly. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Just like, for all the people who talk shit about like professional athletes, it's like, oh, you fucking suck. Pros versus Joes. That's all I gotta say. Just
Wasn't
like,
that essentially like a Fear Factor, but it was like sports related, and then
yeah,
you basically
it was
had
professionals versus random dudes who thought they were the shit at their
Yeah.
sport. Like, I remember one guy thought that he could out rebound Dennis Rodman. And I think Rodman got every single, like, the dude didn't even sniff getting the ball because Rodman's a Rodman, like that's what he did. That's what those guys do. I think there was one with even like Wayne Gretzky. I think there was one where it had the holes or the targets in the four corner shooting. It's like, that's what they do. It's like, they deserve a lot more credit than people really give them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Like somebody will see a video of like an athlete doing something, and then you look in the comment section. It's like, oh, that's not hard. I could do that. It's like, okay, cool, do it. Throw your vid in the comments. Let's see it. Or like
Well,
Curry
even
when
the
he
whole,
hit.
yeah,
like,
and the whole thing too. Like, one guy makes one error. Fucking people, we're human. People fuck up, dude. It's like, if it's an every time thing, then yeah, okay, maybe do some work on it. But it's like, yeah.
Like watching a game, it's like watching a quarterback miss a open pass. It's like, oh, put me out there and give me 10 G's and I'll make that pass. It's like, okay, but then what about the other 40, 50 passes that game? Make the rest of those too. Like, but yeah.
I'd like to see a regular person go out, take a snap, and complete a pass over a full D line that's probably like 6'6" to 6'8". Can't even see over the line. So then you're going to have to run left and run right. And you got linebackers coming at you. You have like, how fast they get rid of the ball in like 0.7 seconds?
Yeah. Well,
it's something ridiculous like that.
Usually like you got a
Rodgers
pocket
extending the play. It's like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah. Anything longer than 2.5, you got to roll out. Yeah.
Right.
And then Rodgers
a lot of
run
those
around
guys get it, boom. It's like 0.7 seconds from the time that they get the ball to the time that it's out of their hand. And it's just like, even a regular person, I don't even think I could get the ball and get it out in 0.7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and those guys work on that too. It's just like they do like hundreds of reps just of working on the release, and like you said, shorter guys having more of the baseball throwing,
being able to change
side
your
arming your angles.
It's like Mahomes is the one that started that, because he's not even too tall. It all depends where where the defender puts his hand, depending on, there's like 8 different angles that you can throw it with your shoulder. And yeah, he's mastered it all, even the opposite hand throw.
Yeah.
Got down. I'm still waiting to see a quarterback in the NFL that can throw both hands just as good. Like how you have those pitchers that can throw both hands and throw 99 each. Like, when's the quarterback going to happen that rolls out this way, throws it the other hand, comes all the way back around, boom, switches hands, or starts running toward the sideline, fake, boom. It's like, toss it.
Yeah, because then basically at that point, because obviously, like if you're running a play action, you prefer to have obviously left-handed quarterbacks roll left and right. But if you got a guy who's ambidextrous, like don't matter if he's rolling out left, he could still throw he could switch it to his right hand and throw it back across the field the other way. Yeah, I'm sure that's somebody's gonna come through it. Like, I'm sure somebody somewhere can do that, but at a professional level, like to have somebody who can throw equally with both hands, like same zip, same power, same distance, all that is
Accuracy.
rare. And then on top of that, they have to be a professional athlete. Like, you know what I mean? To have both of those line up at the same time would be super rare. I'm sure there's a high school athlete or just some semi-pro Joe Schmo who can do stuff like that, but you never hear of him unless like he pops up on like Sports Center top 10 because somebody pulled out their phone and got a clip of him doing it or something. But
Right, that's even like a pro baseball player making it to do that. I think there's maybe been a couple like pitchers that, but in high school you hear about it all the time. Like I know like two people myself that back in high school they had the 6-finger glove, throw 3 innings this arm. All right, 3 innings this, just keep switching up to save your arms. And
well, and plus switching arms, you can switch it based on the batter, so you can put different English on the ball and all that stuff too.
in baseball it really helps, but yeah, for football though, just to be able to throw, because gripping it is even, you got to have pretty big hands to grip and throw professional football, and then getting that grip down on both hands of putting it perfect accuracy, air, all that. It's way more difficult than throwing a ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing too, is like I could throw a ball with my right hand, but it's like it's going to be a duck compared to throwing it with my left. So obviously, like you throw a duck in the NFL, that's getting picked off or just not getting to your receiver. But yeah,
That's all I had in the NFL.
Yeah. So then moving over to the
Otherwise,
NBA.
Other than the Bears still suck.
You just throwing that in there, or you said like there's some.
I was
I was like, I thought you were gonna like elaborate on that, like they made a move or something that like
no,
made them suck or something.
I was just throwing that in there. Shout out Tony.
I like it. Yeah, I haven't said Dallas sucks in a while. That was kind of a thing early on in the first probably, I don't know, 10, 20 episodes, at least once an episode, every other episode.
Well, we're kind of in the football lull right now, so
yeah. Come week 1, they'll take their loss against the reigning Super Bowl champs, and then I'll say,
I think
Dallas
Fields
sucks.
is going to start. I think they're going to do better than people are thinking. I think Fields is going to start day 1.
I mean, if he comes out and blows Dalton out of the water, I don't see how you can't.
And honestly, I feel like I always thought Justin Fields was the next Aaron Rodgers. So time will tell. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy to have 2 Aaron Rodgers types quarterbacks in the same division going at it. It'd be awesome to see.
Yeah, at least while Rodgers is A, still in Green Bay, and B, still in
Playing
his prime.
football.
Yeah.
Well, what is your prime now? For a quarterback, it's till you can't move anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I guess it's until you can't throw it. Until you can't throw it anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's like where Peyton lost it. He lost that distance. Like Brady, he can still get it down he can still gas it.
Yeah.
Like he can still chuck the ball. A lot of people are like, oh, Brady can't throw. Brady can't throw. It's like when he was in New England, he didn't have to throw deep balls.
No.
Look at last season. He fucking let that thing fly.
Yeah, didn't they lead the league with plus 20-yard
plays?
Passes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At 40, whatever.
43-year-old motherfucker. He's gonna be like that thing. I can't remember who made it, but it was that like
the
Super Bowl 60. Tom Brady playing against his son Jack Brady. Anyway, yeah, switching over to the NBA then here. A couple points again, some games underway tonight. The Suns took care of business last time that game was going on last episode. So the Suns are up 3-2 in the series as that moves back to LA.
It's over.
Yeah, even if AD comes back, like we were talking last time, if he can't come back 100% and
34 points is what he's got to put up at least
to give him a chance. And otherwise, if he can't come back 100% and can't at least like put up 30 plus points. Suns are going to close it out in LA tomorrow. Kind of another, I guess, injury bug going around on the east side. Joel Embiid has a meniscus tear in his right knee. So he is out in tonight's matchup versus the Wizards. That game's still going on, I believe, third quarter. Now
It was the fourth.
Fourth now.
1 second. Yeah, it's pretty much game over. 76ers are up 122-101 with 4 minutes left.
Oh yeah. So 76ers are going to hang on to win that series without Embiid, which should give them time. They'll probably play either Saturday or Sunday against what's going to look like the Hawks. Hawks look like they're going to finish with that series against the Knicks tonight as well. So, I mean, that goes to show though the Wizards didn't get eliminated in Game 4 because of Embiid going down. So, but Joel Embiid looked like he was going to be a game time decision for Game 6 if it did get to a Game 6. So hopefully by the next series, I mean, playing through meniscus tear, that's tough.
Yeah, however much pain you can manage is what it's going to be.
And I'm sure it's going to take off-season surgery, and then they're going to have to hope that he's ready to go come next season, because that takes a while to come back from with rehab and stuff like that.
Yeah, meniscus is nowhere near ACL, MCL though, so I think it's like a couple of weeks now with how good they've gotten at doing these surgeries. Like, and pretty much anything with the knee now is really quick, which is really impressive, and I think that's awesome. So athletes don't have to miss so much time, where they've gotten so good at doing these surgeries now, where back in a couple weeks and good to go again, which is awesome.
And plus too, when they fabricate your knee with tools and metal and man-made tendons, it's probably stronger than what it was before you broke it. So
yeah, they say your ACL, MCL, people say that they come back after the first time you tear it. It comes back stronger than it originally was.
But then if you do it again, then
if you do it again, then you're waiting for it to keep happening, basically.
Yeah.
Like Derrick Rose, like he can't go as hard as he used to because one move and there will be a fourth time.
Exactly. And then the last kind of NBA headline, Brad Stevens, coach of the Celtics, moves into the president role on the team after the current president just retired today. So I'd imagine they have to get a new head coach, because I don't think you'd be a president and a head coach at the same time.
No, yeah, they said that they were actively searching for a new head coach.
Okay. So, I mean, Brad Stevens, he had kind of turned the Celtics around from obviously their lull after they won the title back in 2008. They went on a little bit of a lull and then kind of came back under Brad Stevens. So he kind of set the foundation for them to come back. And obviously with like Jaylen Brown and Tatum, obviously leading the way on that team. I don't even know what coaches are really going to be on the market, because I know last year there was a handful of coaches that found teams. So, I mean, I guess unless Tyronn Lue maybe shits the bed with the Clippers this year and they decide to get rid of him, maybe he goes to the Celtics. There's not really a whole lot of guys kind of just waiting for a job to happen, because like I said, last year, there's a lot of guys shuffled around and they either matched or did better than the year before. So they should all stay where they're at.
Yeah, I don't really know. It kind of seems like the NBA coaching pool is weird. I don't know. It seems like they all know each other. There's just a cycle that just keeps going and going and going, and maybe occasionally you'll get a new guy in there. It's like same way in the NFL. It kind of seems like too. It's like the same coaches keep getting recycled over and over again. It's like every single league, I should say that. Coaches keep getting recycled until you're just that bad where you can't win anymore. And they're just like, okay, time for a new guy to fill your slot and stay the rotation.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of Fisher with the Rams. He just kept getting cycled through and got it and all that. And then eventually it got to the point where he's just like, all right, dude, you suck. And then in comes Sean McVay as finally that new face, and then look what he's done. But yeah, like you said, it's just been a carousel of coaches going to different teams, and you don't really hear of any new guys. I mean, LaFleur is really the newest head coach,
Yep.
or Cliff Kingsbury from Oklahoma.
Well, technically, Urban Meyer is the newest head coach.
Oh, yeah, him too. Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury, like 2 or 3 years ago, coming from Oklahoma to the Cardinals too. So, I mean, it seems like at least every year you get like maybe one new guy that comes up. But, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see younger guys come in too. Like LaFleur's pretty young. Obviously, it's great to see older coaches like Belichick. Even like Bruce Arians, he's kind of getting up there as well. Some guys that have been around the league for a long time, sticking it out either with a team that they've been with for a while or just in the league in general. Because even though a coach is shifting around, maybe they didn't see success with the team before, but look at Arians, he was in Cardinals or with the Cardinals, kind of got them back on the upbringing in the NFC West, and then moves over to basically not very hopeful Tampa Bay team, and they turned around and win a Super Bowl in 1 year. So, but it doesn't take a lot, especially as a coach like that. Arians talked all the time that he's like, I didn't really have to do shit. It's like all these guys basically made my job easy for me. So, but yeah,
Yeah, I got a couple things here. One thing that maybe could have even potentially been a headline that I completely forgot about until now, but amazing performance last night. I think that was the best performance I've ever seen in my life in a playoff game. Damien Lillard dropped 55 points, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, hits 2 game-tying three-pointers to send it into overtime, and then in the second overtime, and then in the second overtime, that was 4 straight three-pointers that he made to put them even in to get to the third overtime. He broke Klay Thompson's record of three-pointers made in a game. He's got it with 12 now. So amazing performance. I still can't believe that they lost. After,
well, that's a problem. And everybody else named that Damian Lillard went 1 for 14 in the second OT. So that's when your other 4 guys on the floor go 1 for 14, you're not going to win. It's
and it's so sad for Dame too, because he's so good, and Portland's never been that team. I mean, McCollum, they got there, and it's been those two basically, and you never hear anything about them or that team trying to bring anybody in to help those two guys out. If I was Dame,
well, Carmelo Anthony, they brought him in.
He's at the end of his career. Yeah, I get that. He's good, but he's not playing the minutes that he used to be able to play.
Yeah.
Just that way. He's not as yes, he still scores points. Yeah, he still plays defense, but he's not as effective as he was when he was Denver Nuggets, playing how many minutes a game and constantly putting up those points every single game, where now it's kind of hit or miss. You never know what Carmelo Anthony you're going to get.
Yeah, that's true. But also Portland is a small market team
and Damian loves Portland, and that's why I don't think he's ever going to leave there. I think he's just going to be maybe one of the greatest players ever to not win a title.
Yeah.
And then, my other point is Coach K announced that this will be his last season at Duke. He plans to retire at the end of this season, and basically calling this his last dance. So shout out to Coach K. Thank you for all you've done for basketball, USA basketball especially. You've won a lot of gold medals. Duke has always been a powerhouse, and really those North Carolina Duke games always have been the games to watch growing up as a kid. That it's like, oh my God, you want to see the NBA? Watch Duke in North Carolina, because all these guys are going to be superstars out there. So yeah, shout out to him for what a hell of a career. What a ride.
That doesn't surprise me, especially since Roy hung it up too for North Carolina. So now it's going to be two powerhouses, kind of some big shoes to fill, whoever is going to be taking those two positions over. Obviously, the recruitment's still going to be high for those two schools, but you also got to be able to coach those guys and win games too. So it'll be interesting to see. Well, kind of this last year too is interesting how for the first time since like early 1900s, Kansas, Duke, and North Carolina were all unranked at one point. So all those teams are kind of in a rebuild stage, as weird as that is to say, given those are really the three basketball schools of the country. Yeah, I'm sure they'll bounce back. I mean, when you're those schools, you don't really go into a lull too long for those programs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like you said, they've been top teams, top recruiting. They always get the top whatever players every single year. And like, even if you're not a basketball fan, you know what Duke basketball is. Like I might be naive to say the world, maybe like the sports world knows that, but that's just how I feel with the impact that he's made to basketball.
For sure. Ugh. Yeah, I guess I got a couple MLB points to throw out here. Not a whole lot of like I guess big headlines going on as far as like teams as a whole, but today Francisco Lindor scored a winning run in the ninth inning today, and the Mets win against the D-backs. I guess one team that is kind of on a streak is the Cubs. They swept the Padres today and now sit at the top of the NL Central with a 1-game lead over the Cards. Just a week or two back, they swept the Dodgers as well. So Padres and Dodgers, kind of the two powerhouses of the NL, and the Cubs swept both of them. So they're kind of on a hot streak right now. The Brewers, again, have an off day today, and then they start their 4-game weekend series tomorrow with the D-backs, and that will be at I was about to say Miller. No, I was about to say Miller Park, American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Isn't it an American Family Insurance Field?
No, it's just AmFam Field. It's like I don't know what that I always hear it. I mean, it is
Family Field.
It's just American Family Field.
Actually, American Family Insurance Field, and just said AmFam Field.
I honestly don't know.
I haven't seen the I'd like to get down there.
I haven't seen the sign, but just funny. Every time I see like Snapchat stories or like pictures of just on social media people going to games, they always like
maybe that's what we do this weekend. When do they start that series? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. Maybe.
What time opening pitch?
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had to guess, probably 6 or 7 o'clock. Thursday, Brewers 6:40.
What about, and then Fridays?
Friday and Saturday will be night games. Well, Saturday is 3:10, and then Sunday is probably 1. Yeah, 1:10.
Do you need a COVID vaccine to get in? Well, now that it's open, you shouldn't anymore.
No. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, otherwise they literally play 6 days a week. So we'll get down there at some point.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, dude. Then we can update live updates from us. Hear us like, yeah, just give updates to the.
That's something we should do. We should make a in a league of their own Snapchat, so we can throw stuff up whenever we're golfing or at a sports event.
That's the Instagram. You could just do the story on Insta.
That too, yeah.
Same thing, pretty much.
But yeah, and then the I guess kind of wrap things up with the MLB here. The MLB bans 4 minor league pitchers. They got caught with foreign substances trying to put some English on balls. So sorry, gentlemen, your road to the show got cut short before you could even make it there. So it's been kind of funny though. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's been kind of like he like analyzes footage of like pitchers like either like having stuff on their gloves or on their hats, and like noticing just like little tweaks that they do, and it's just like he's like, this guy's got to have something. And then like sure enough, like a day or two later, MLB investigating this pitcher. So this guy, he just like breaks his film apart of these pitchers, and it's like, yep, he's using something. I wonder if they're going to catch him. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But yeah, I mean, I guess in any sport, you always ride that fine line of trying to get an advantage, but
I don't even think they're allowed to lick their fingers anymore. They used to be able to. I don't think they're allowed to anymore, so that there's no advantage given to.
All they have is the chalk on the mound.
Yeah,
the chalk
I
bag.
think that's it now. Because like I remember, guys would just.
Which the chalk bag wouldn't help, because that just stops you from sweating. So if anything, that gives you
help your fingers not get blisters too from the laces spinning the ball.
But yeah, again, not a whole lot with the MLB, but also there's literally games going on every day, so there's at least something to throw out there. Yeah. And then, as usual, wrapping up the show here, NHL playoffs. What's going on over there?
So the NHL playoffs. Before I dive in, I'm just gonna dive into the lottery real quick that happened tonight. For those of you who don't know, and those of you who do know, it's kind of like the NBA, where all the teams that don't make the playoffs basically get put into a lottery, and they each have a certain % chance to get the number one pick. Seattle, coming into the league, they were guaranteed at least a third pick. They get the number 2 pick. Buffalo Sabres get the 1. Don't really need to read off the rest of the list. Kind of doesn't really, it doesn't really matter. And if you really want to go find out exactly what the list is, you can go pull it up yourself online. My Flyers, they do have the 14th pick, and pretty excited about it. This is a pretty deep draft. There's a lot of young kids coming out who are pretty good. I know on the Devils, Jack Hughes, who was the number 1 overall pick a few years ago, he publicly said that if his brother was still on the table at the Devils pick, he would appreciate if the Devils chose his younger brother as well. That'd be kind of cool to have 2 brothers both drafted in the first round playing together on a team, and Winnipeg just scores 3-2. And I'll dive into that here. And then, so like I said, if you want to check out the lottery, you can go pull that up online. It'll tell you what every team's chance was to get the number 1 pick and all that stuff. And then just diving in to the games real quick. Montreal currently up on Winnipeg 3-2. Winnipeg was down 3-0 in this game, and now they've scored 2 straight. They were getting outshot 21-11, and they're now up 26-24. So it looks like the tables have turned. They are playing in Winnipeg, and they do have some fans that were allowed to be in the building. They're a team that doesn't quit. Like what they did to the Oilers, they shut down the top producing players in the league, and now they're on to Montreal, who just did the same thing pretty much and putting the Toronto Maple Leafs to sleep. So this is going to be a great series for those of you who want to see some great, close, physical hockey. This series is one that you want to watch, especially because this year's kind of interesting too. There's only going to be 1 team that represents all of Canada for a chance for the Cup. Like in other seasons, you could potentially have 2 playing in the Eastern Conference Finals, or potentially both meeting in the Stanley Cup, and it could be an all Canadian Cup. No, 1 team gets to represent all of Canada in the final 4 teams. They have a lot to play for. So the series should be really good. Just hold on a sec. Oh, Caulfield. Motherfucker. Other game tonight, Vegas takes on Colorado Avalanche. Marc-Andre Fleury is back in the pipes. Like I said last night, if they stand any chance in the series, he's going to have to stand on his head. I feel like Colorado is going to bring the heat again tonight. I'm going to call a 5-2 victory by Colorado. That top line for Colorado, they had 8 points in game 1 collectively. I'm saying that they're going to have 6 points collectively tonight, that they just can't be stopped right now. And that's very exciting. And then just the 2 other series going on. Tampa downs Carolina last night to take 2-0 advantage. Islanders beat Boston in overtime. I believe I mentioned that yesterday as well. Just going to reiterate that they play on Long Island tomorrow night. That should be a great game, as that series has been a hell of a battle as well. So everything's kind of looking on the outside in. There's really only 4 teams that kind of really belong in the playoffs right now. And I shouldn't even say that. There's really 2 teams that look like they could win the Stanley Cup, and that's Colorado and Tampa, that look unbelievable right now. But we're going to see if, the superstars can be stopped. That's kind of what it's coming down to. This league is all superstars kind of now. And some of these teams, depending on their coaches, stick with the old school style, dump and chase, big bodies. We don't really care about going to get the superstar because we're just going to wear you down. And there's a lot of teams in the series that wear teams down. We'll see how well it works, going against some of these top guys. Because at the end of the day, how do you stop someone going 100 miles an hour? You get in the way of them and you slow them down. So we'll see what happens. And another thing too is it's all about the goalie. What goalie gets hot at the right time and can carry the team basically all the way through. So that's kind of all I had. Montreal just scored, so 4-2. This game, there's 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third period. Go watch us on NBCSN. Vegas and Colorado will be following. And that's kind of all I got here for today.
Sounds good. Yeah, again, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs heating up. First round matchups, so you are finishing up. Second round matchups are underway and going to be underway this weekend on both sides. So, one step closer to those conference finals, and a lot going on at one time here. And then as soon as it's all done, there's going to be nothing. So, gonna enjoy it while it lasts here for at least the next month or so.
And then one real thing too about in the hockey world, I think it was Vancouver announced that they are going to hold the Women's World Hockey Championships in 2021. So that's awesome for the women that get to play. I know during the COVID season, they were supposed to have their thing last year. It got canceled. They couldn't find the funding. There was no funding coming through. NHL helped partner and helped put something on so that the women can get out there and show which country's the best. And going to be excited to see that happening. I don't remember what dates that I saw the post, but they did receive the funding and it is official that it will be happening. So that's awesome.
For sure. Again, with the new schedule, again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday episodes. So we'll be diving into, I guess, the games that are finishing up tonight, the ones that happen tomorrow. We'll be breaking down all that for you guys on Friday. So stay tuned again. Just keep up with everything, I guess, as we dish it out to you guys.
And that was a series final. Just going to throw that out here before we're done. 76ers close out the series 4-1. They won 129-111. So Tobias Harris, 28 points, led the 76ers. So looks like somebody was kind of able to pick up a little bit of slack and get some points in. Obviously they found a way to come together as a team and win collectively. That's going to help them out. Now they just have to hope that Atlanta gets upset tonight so that maybe Embiid can get an extra day or two of rest. We'll see how that goes. Or playing a best of 7, the team's got to win 4. Maybe you rest him game 1 and you just chalk up game 1, kind of like an L, saying, hey, we're just going to rest and get back to full strength, and then we're going to battle. Like, we'll give you one, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
For sure.
And then last thing, U.S. Open is also June 17th through the 20th. We're going to be broadcasting that for you guys as well. We'll be talking about more of that as it gets closer to the U.S. Open.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Again, thanks for stopping in. Again, I guess you got the words down with all the socials. I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
Thanks everybody for stopping by. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to all of our channels: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, also anywhere that is affiliated with Anchor. Also, just go to Google, type in a League of Their Own podcast, and I guarantee you you'll be able to find us doing it that way. Yeah, if you have any feedback, comments, anything you feel like you want to share to us, don't forget you can DM us, leave us a comment. We will get back to you. I don't think that we're some of these people that are just don't even bother reading anything or we'll get back to you guys. Like we love interacting with our with the people who follow the show, and we also try to do this to provide entertainment for you guys as well. So we want to do the best job possible for you guys. And yeah, that's kind of all I had. Thank you again, and we appreciate you guys stopping by.
Yeah, and don't forget too. Again, we do have merch out. We've had it out for a couple weeks now. Again, streamerloot.co. If you go down in the description under this video, you'll find the link to our merch page there. Add us, whether you get a hat, shirt, sweatshirt, mug, anything like that, and we'll throw it up on one of the socials as well. Feel free to, again, send us a pic of you copping the merch, and we'll give you guys a shout out. So, again, any way to get the podcast name out there, we appreciate it. And yeah, appreciate you guys stopping in, and we'll see you guys on Friday.
See you guys Friday.